This is Divine Sunshine coming to you with your see that, coming to you with your urgent message. I see light go around. Urgent message, got sidetracked. And I want to really have a chat, a fireside chat before we get into this. Before, because I'm noticing some things. We had some, and I've been posting quite madly in the community chat, giving you all quite a few information. I think knowledge is power, and maybe that's because of my background of being a teacher. How that's been very much important for us to understand that we have to understand these energies that surround us. A lot of times, especially us coming from this 3D thing, it's more so of a spiritual thing. We're having a spiritual being experience. We spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're forgetting how spiritual this experience really is in this human body. The sun. I went out the other day. Where was I going? And went out there, and maybe I was outside with the kids. I think it was with the furry kids, and I came back in. No, went to go see the DM, and I came back and I was wiped out. And I kept on saying, it's something about the sun. It feels like with the sun is like draining my energy. It's draining my energy. I feel super tired. I went out with the furry kids in the background, trying to get them acclimated and training them as well. And I came back in and I was like, wow, I felt like a person just say, like used to be back in the day. I don't know if you all know that mom used to have me watching the show with Benny Hill with the healing thing. And sometimes he just touch it, they go, ooh, and they just knock out. That's the same way it was. I sat down and then all of a sudden I just feel drained. Divine Feminine 777. I've been posting a lot of her stuff. She has a real good finger on the pulse as far as these energies. And she was talking about the sun. And I was like, oh my God. I said, thank you. You put it all together. Why I feel so drained. We know that we have been saying about the divine masculine energies. They have been draining our energies. They've been doing a lot of shifting, a lot of moving, a lot of those things like that too as well. However, what has been changing also with us is that again the sun, now that's on top of that. Now remember, the sun, who rules the sun? The masculine energies, right? So the divine masculine is more so symbolism associated with the sun, and the divine feminine energies is more so with the moon, which is interesting. Back in reversal, it used to be the sun in earlier times was the divine feminine energies, and the divine masculine energies was represented by the moon, like the man in the moon. Either way it goes, there's a big thing as far as us in our energies that we need to pay attention to. I know ethereal sources has stated on that, like this is the feminine. And then I did a song and made a thing about it. It's talking about the feminines and how, with the feminines, what was it again? It was something about the feminines, and it was like it's their time. That is true. It's something about the divine feminine energies right now. And I would say, in order for us to create that union that's going on, a lot of us, and I'm seeing that even from my people that's on Patreon, I'm seeing people that I'm talking to, and even myself, there is a movement in the emotions that's is erradical. It's not rational. You've got to stay very grounded right now in these emotions. I again don't move until you see it. That has always been one of my mottos and creeds too as well. Got that from the Bobby Fischer about the chess piece, and he was saying about if you wanted to be able to make moves on the chessboard, to make sure that you before you make any kind of strategic move, you don't move until you see it. Some of us right now, and I would say that, and I'm talking about even myself, that has a very active mind. Let's put it that way. You've got to get yourself in the mindset, if there's a routine or something that you're doing that helps you keep distracted or keeps you grounded, stay with it. I'm seeing also trends of things of people stopping things and going and making yourself spiral out to get more deeper into your emotions. Also, protect yourself from what you're watching. If you're watching some things and it's triggering you and it's making you highly emotional, watch that as well. But at the same time, some of it might be a thing that you need to clear out. Like the other day, I was watching a movie and the man had to shoot the horse because of this weekend because of he tried to jump over over a bush, and in doing so it broke the or messed up the horse's spine, and he had to take a gun out. I don't like anything that has to do with animals anyway, of any kind of cruelty. And my God, I had to turn around. I was boo-hooing and sobbing. I said, oh my God, where is this coming from? And I could hear April saying, that's good, it's good for the soul, let it just cleanse and let it get in out what's ever going on. Well, maybe this might be an excuse they're using the horse. Horse represents freedom. That's interesting, and I cried for that. And they had to shoot the spine, which again is just getting things into alignment and how that's not in alignment. And you have to shoot in order to get the freedom, death. So that might also represent again too as well. Some of us again we're going through those deaths of things that are no longer serving us, that's not allowing us to have that freedom that we need to, because I believe really in the month of July it represents the freedom. That's interesting that that came up. And in understanding about the freedom that we want to experience, some things are not in alignment, and sorry to say we might have to have that ego death, or that something that has to die off, whether it's a person, place, a thing in our life, in order for us to truly have that freedom. I would say also right now until July 15th, that's what been brought to me. Don't make any kind of moves, anything that just like retrograde. If you have not had made plans or did anything, started some kind of project, then I wouldn't say right now, if the thing is from an emotional standpoint, for you not to go ahead and for you to do that. If it's from something like, I'm just going to stop, or I'm going to do something else because this ain't working out for me. It's all that from that ego stuff. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is a very urgent message for that, because I feel at this time we're letting emotions ride shotgun. And instead of it riding shotgun, it corrected me, you're letting it take the wheel instead of letting source take the wheel, or you take the wheel, and you're letting your emotions run amok, because I can feel it. It's a panicky-ishness. It's all motions all over the place. I felt crying because sometimes I have days that they send me everything from the collective. I felt crying. I felt anger. I felt pissed offness. Energies of emotions is coming way down from somewhere. Like, where the hell this is coming from? Again, this ain't gonna work. This is stupid. I gotta let this go. He ain't gonna get himself together. Why are you waiting? All those kind of different things start welling up and coming up with me, and I had to constantly talk to myself. I found myself, and I told Steffi that too. I found myself turning off the computer. I found myself this weekend listening to a lot of music. A lot of music inspired me, spiritual, gospel, music that I just like Bobby Brown. Watch the verses, Bobby Brown and who is that? Oh, Keith Sweat. And listening here, we have this thing here in Chicago called the Chosen Few, which is house music, which is very big. And listening to that all Saturday, no TV on. I didn't want the stimulus of that. My mom loves that. I watch that with her, but it's always with those things you can kind of see some of the programming, the trauma, the falling in love. I can't have you. It looked like the theme this week was extramarital affairs, and not having, and then it flipping over, and then they did end up, the person had end up being with the other person, or they did not end up with the person. Whole long story anyway. So there's like, it's like, okay, now that's triggery, okay, now, you know so those things. So I had to take myself and really take ownership of my own self and say, you know what, stop it, no more stimulus, no more stuff oversensitizing you about the situation or things that's going on with you on your own journey or things like that, because it was a lot of, if you're emotionally open like that, like a sponge to me, it's really best that you turn off that social media, anything else that's around there, and just really start focusing in on self. Do something that you like. I did the massaging my feet, pay attention to the kids, doing things of that nature to kind of unplug from the world, unplug, especially on that emotional sensitivity like that. Like you just really like. Person, just like I said, like Asperger's syndrome, a lot of things, them stimuli, it's like, the sound, the sound, the sound, the sound, the people, the people, the people, the people, all of that other kind of stuff, any kind of things that's overstimulated, you need to stop. This is emotionally, I felt that we were really on 10, literally, this weekend, and not on fault of our own, especially being empathic. Some of the stuff is from the collective. You have to shield yourself. I was wearing a lot of crystals and a lot of rocks as well. Clear, I would say also get you a clear quartz crystal as well to really clear for you to mind yourself, have a clear mind as well. I don't know why it's out of my mind. The black rock, obsidian, wearing that and having that as well. For that to help with the grounding too. Any kind of other grounding rocks, smoky quartz, those things like that. That's what they bring it to me. Those things, making sure that you have that. Right now, don't make any moves. You got the 7-7 portal that's coming up too as well. And that's going to be very big. You're already feeling the intense energies from that as well. So, now, last thing I want to leave you also with on that one is really truly understanding how to get into the gear shift of this divine masculine and divine feminine energies, and how we can be able to find union in the two. Now, what we need to do as far as us to have union on the outside, we got to start within. So one of the main things is about that has been brought to me is a lot of times when we're talking about the male energies, we talk about how he's got to be able to profess, provide, and protect, the 3 P's, right? Within ourselves, we've got to look and see how we can be able to protect protect, profess, and provide for the divine feminine within ourselves. Many of us, especially when we talk about if the emotions are high, and you're seeing right now that your emotions are running amok and they're definitely on 10, that's the divine feminine energies out of sync. Okay, so then it's time for who to step in? The divine masculine energies within yourself to step in and say, you know what, I'm gonna provide the space, I provide whatever she needs. If she needs self-care, I'm gonna give it to you. If she needs some comfort food, I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, you need to also protect at this time. At this time, again, when you're watching things that you shouldn't be watching or it's overstimulating you, let the divine master say, up, oh, cut it off. That's enough. Or somebody talking to your ear and they tell you too much stuff. Let the divine masculine step up and say, okay, nope, that's enough. Walk away. Let's go. We're walking out the room. What? Like you physically can feel energetically how your masculine say, let's go, let's go, let's go. Doing that. Also, again, professing to yourself not only how much that you also, number one, love yourself, but also profess to yourself about what are you actually feeling, because maybe the divine feminine energies needs to be heard. Maybe you're at the point like Kathy D said, well, you've got to get it down to the finite. Why are we feeling this way? What is actually going on? What is this that's resurfacing? Like I said, we can't do this. What do you feel? Well, I'm feeling I'm going to be abandoned. I feel like I'm going to be rejected. I don't think that he has the energies or the resources to do this. I don't think he wants as much as I do for us to come together. Okay, all right then. Well, now what are you really saying? Where's this really truly coming from? I'm looking at things. This is illusions. Okay, well, right now during these times, can we really trust ourselves about what's being showed up? No, not really. I don't know what he's doing. Right. Okay, and do you know what you're doing? Right. No, not really. Okay, well then that's what we need to start. We need to get a really good handle of as to where we are right now, minus what's going on with him. Okay, the main thing is again knowing that that is your twin flame, and let's take from there and let the universe allow them to be the head of what is going on between you and your union, between you and your person. You know, and that's where we have to be as far as us professing. I feel like almost like Tabitha Brown, and I did the podcast about that too as well. And I think I linked that on into the community tab, how she was saying, snapping back on Wendy Williams and saying about that in a nice, beautiful, spiritual way, in an unloving way, about I hope that you find somebody, although you're trying to come for me and mine's, but I'm going to pray that you have somebody in your life that will come to you and be as loving as my husband and our relationship is. And so this is where we have to understand when we're talking about ourselves and really having that love and really knowing. Some of you all I do, and I'm gonna put a white light between myself and others because again, like I said, I did say it on podcast. I say it on this one. We lovingly support each other, but sometimes we secretly hate um, just keeping it 100 about each other and about what things that we're striving for in the relationships. You say, no, I'm not, but sometimes again, it's a little percentage of it. Some of us that like, when one of our twin flames is that. And I'm going to say this, I do pray that you all will get someone and know that that person is truly your twin flame, that you all will be able to see, because I see so many of you all that adds to me fuel to the fire and fuel to the confusion of you all around here looking at 2.0s, 2.5s, 3.0s, and some of y'all is honestly on 10.0s. You know who you are. And it's like, listen here, go right back to center. If that first person that you were with, that you felt in your heart of hearts is it that's been giving you the most grief and the most trouble and the most challenges, let's change that. The most challenges is probably the one that is your twin flame, point blank. Now, why you don't like him is because he ain't cooperating. That's just like me and the dogs up here training them. I'm trying to get them on the path. I like y'all was working my nerves. Told me mom yesterday, you overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I can't. I tapped out. I'm doing everything they saying they doing. It'll be easy for me to say, hey, take them back to the breeders. I want a refund or whatever like that. But I love them to death. All I gotta do is look at their little faces and I say I'm back in love again. That's the same way it is with your. You gotta get with it. Understand you're stuck with this challenge or person. Of course, you could do free will, but let's not just go ahead and let's put our big panties on and our big boxes on and say, let me go ahead and just deal with this person here and be a master and gain mastery of dealing with this person. We already know, we've been said this, that the twin flame dynamic of this journey is not an easy one. So again, if someone about yourself feels like, hey, I can't do this, by all means, go take a break. That's what I meant to do on my thing. I should say about how separation is good. Go take a break. Sometimes I'm calling the universe, say, I need, I'm calling it in. Tap me out. Let me go over in the corner. Even when fighters fight, they gotta go over to the side and take a break. Even my puppy here, she has her other sister here as well. And sometimes I look around and say, where Ebony at? Where Ebony at? She done went up into my room and kind of say, I needed a break from this. Or even Ivory say, I need a break from this. So my thing is, everybody needs breaks, but that does not mean that I don't still love you. That does not mean that when I see you walk in the room, my tail doesn't wag. That does not mean when I see my DM, they say I fall right back madly in love back again. That doesn't mean that. And some of us, because of those childhood wounds, are not able to really actually see what's going on. And I keep telling you, some of them are in there because of these family things. Things has got to be revealed. Some of them got to understand that they do deserve real love, that they are worthy. Some of us have to honestly get to the point to say, hey, I am worthy and I should have the love of my life again. So again, I'm just like Tabitha. I do pray that some of you all do get to the point, because I think that when you all tell me you're looking at 2.5 or 3.4, I'm looking at 20.22. I'm looking at you and saying, oh my God, this baby here is a message to me when I hear that. And that's not judgment. Again, is that I'm not really want to sign up to look at myself. I don't want to sign up to really push up my sleeves and to do the work and really master with this person. Rather, this person is the one or not. Let me get mastery of this. So at the end of the day, no matter what, like I put on the poster, if it's right or wrong, Spirit would correct it. You might say, well, I've wasted. It's no wasting in there, because in it all, you have learned something. You have bettered yourself. You have become a greater master of yourself. That those tools that I guarantee you that you learn on the person that you say, well, I thought he was and did end up being, you can be able to use it on the one, the divine lover. So why don't you sit there and to master? Now, if they're being abusive, they done did all different kind of other stuff. No, I'm not co-signing on that. Say, well, divine sunshine say I'm supposed to stay in this. No, if they doing all that kind of stuff, abusive stuff like that, rather they are the person or they're not the person, you gotta say deuces. Say, hold on a second, I love myself. Let me have the divine master within myself. Step up and protect and provide and profess to me, profess that, hey, I ain't liking, you're not liking what you in, divine feminine. Say, no, let me protect you and get you out the situation, and let me provide the space of a know-how to say, let's escape from this. Let me bring you out of here. Let me provide you a safe place, a place to get out of this, whether it's separation, telling them about themselves, cussing them out, whatever you got to do. That's a whole different story. But some of these ones, they just do a little bit of something and you ready to say, he kissed my ass, I'm gone. Okay? You're not really digging in there and really looking in there and saying, hey, you know what? I've gotten to the point, even with myself, is saying, you know what? It's no more saying that it's the DM, it's Demi doing all this stuff. This is me. He's reflected back at me. And I got to really start looking at it and saying that. That's just like this morning I had a revelation, and I tell on myself, where I was saying, oh my God, you know, I always tease him, say, you always got a champagne taste, but you got a beer budget. And I went to do something today, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm talking to my bestie. We trying to make arrangements for to go to this event. And I was like, you know what? I want, even if I can't get the VIP section, I want something as close near to it. I was like, okay, then you just not look at your budget. I'm like, yeah, things, but I want to splurge. I want to do that. Okay, well then you can't be talking about the Demi. You can't be talking about him if you are doing the same thing. And I was like, you're doing the same thing. He's reflecting back at you. When you're saying you ain't got it, but you want that, and you same thing. And I'm saying, but I got it. I can find a way. I'm better say no, it's the same. It's the same. Don't get cute with it and try to jazz it up in another way. It's the same. So this is where again we all here trying to, as I like, I'm gonna take Angel's thing, trying to be love's great design. What are we shaping ourselves into? This is what I want to say about this urgent message. This is a talking to. I believe in coaching. I understand about the cards and those things. Again, if you watching one after another right now, and inspiring you off to you about to say F the journey, F him, F her, F what I'm doing, I don't want to do the mission and purpose no more, then I will say, you know what, again, let the DM energies within you step in and start doing the 3 Ps. Help you to profess what's going on with you, help to provide the space for you, and help to protect you. Those are three things that you need to let the DM start doing for you. Because I was about to do something even on this channel. However, I do, and I leave on this note, I do know some changes have to be done to this channel. I seen on Indigo Light, he stated something similar where he just shut his program down. I am semi on that, but I told myself don't make any kind of moves until after July 15th and see if that where I feel in a while from now, because I feel that in some ways there's growth here, but there's stagnation. I started off, and this is a confession on my end, this channel was started off karmically, meaning it started off with uh, heartache. I did it because of what the DM had did. He made a life-changing move, which caused me to say, okay, what can I do to be able to transmute that energy? It has been transmuted. It's done wonderful things up until this point. I've met several people that have helped me to remind myself that, hey, some learn how to put some healthy boundaries up, how to be able to speak up for myself, whether people agreed with it or not. And it helped me to step up truly to be that leader and that influencer, rather people agreed with what I said or not, and put it out there. I found my voice on this channel. When a little child, when I grew up, had been told that, hey, you're too sharp, you're too with the truth, you cut too cutting edge on that, people are not going to like you with that, you're going to lose friends, as my mother did that because she was scared because of that. And I know from now, from people seek my counsel and my coaching, because I come from that. I cut straight through the BS that you all send me, and I tell you what's going on. It's this, and this. And all of it's my passion, it's my love for how I do that. Rather it's readings, it's channeling. Rather it's doing readings, channel messages, thank you, doing past life regressions. I love doing the work with you all. I love that one-on-one work that I do where I see the changes and transformation. Where my frustration is with this channel is I'm seeing some of us in the continuous loop of still not getting it and elevating and going to the next level. I believe in results. And I believe in when I'm talking to you all, we should not be still talking the same way that I was when I created the channel 5 years ago. We should be on a whole different plateau. I should not be still, if you rocking with me since then, you should be elevating the same thing. I should not have conversation with you to seem like we're looping right back to the same way what it was back then, 2000 and whatever, 13 or 14 or 15, whenever I started it. Yeah, channel. We shouldn't have that. To me, when I hear that, it discourages me. They say, are they listening? Are they learning? Because if I'm talking and we're still saying the same stuff there, we haven't gotten it. And that's me as a teacher. They just have us about the results and not to learn at the same time. It's not you all's thing. However, I know some of us have a issue with changes. I don't can't be consistently on here because of not even life, and I'm not even gonna throw it off and say it's the job. I could find a way to do that, but I think it becomes at the point that I am feeding your codependency that I feel energetically, empathically as I'm dealing with you all. Even when I'm doing the channels and the live, I can feel it. It's that energy exchange that I needed. We need it every now and then, but it shouldn't be at the point like I feel like I'm the drug dealer. I'm your nigga in the attic. Dun, 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 dun. I'm your pusher man. No, I'm not gonna get to the point to doing that. Before it was from a place of ego. Now in my feminine, it's like as a mother that I'm saying for you all are auntie, I don't want you dependent on so much like that. I want you to be able to stand up and to walk on your own two spiritual feet and go out there in the mission and get with your person and whatever. And even if you say, hey, you know what, I got one person, I don't need to come on the channel anymore for that, I say yes. But for you to say I'm not coming on the channel because I didn't quit the journey or whatever like that, that hurts my heart. I'm not gonna lie. And it disappoints me because it makes me feel like maybe I've disappointed you and I didn't do my work. And so that's something that I had to deal with. And I understand about the losing of the subscribers and things of that nature. Some of that stuff is not. And YouTube and its algorithms, I've heard big name people experience and complain about the same thing. And so that's why I say I do know this channel has, at the end of the day, and I don't know if we at this point, has really truly helped me to understand my worth. And I understand that the numbers and the things that I'm getting on here does not reflect the information and the energy that I pour into you all when I do come on here. And that is the game that I will not play with YouTube, because YouTube has its algorithm, and I never have been a person who liked to play games. Don't like to play board games, no beer whiz, no whatever it is like that. I'm purist with no chaser. Whatever I say is it. Putting all these hashtags and stuff for your finding, I leave it up to spirit to do that. But when I come on here, remember that I am a spiritual being having human experience. And when the human sees the numbers, it's like either they're not getting it, they're not liking it. And I have to remind myself that I'm not a people pleaser. And that's not what I'm on here for. And a lot of times people who, again, I can think about great leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King and all those other things, and Malcolm X and all those other leaders that have came along that, again, that had said things that have been radical. They started off with not many, but few. Few got it, few understood it. And understanding it, again, chosen, few chosen, they'll get and understand. That's a person thing that I have to, as my shadow, have to deal with, and battling, going back and forth, and understanding as far as to keep on doing it, because I know it's something within me that likes to self-sabotage things too if I don't get the way or whatever. So again, during this time period, now if I would have listened to it, this channel would have been erased and shut down by last Friday. And then someone's like, nope, don't do that. Because again, I know the content, I know the things, because I've heard even people with higher numbers say the same exact thing a week later when I done told you a week earlier about what's going on. And that's not ego, that's not bragging, that's facts. So that lets me know, that confirms to me that I'm on the right path. Now, what's going on is, again, not catching on. Whose fault is that? I don't know. But I do know I've got to, until I play around with it, until I find a niche that opens up, that I can get the numbers that I like, that I feel like, hey, I'm feeding it, and it's vice versa. Like I said, YouTube too much won't be utilized too much. I see other areas that I've been trying that has been growing up, and I will go and cultivate that. However, I'm not going to dismiss this, because this does have its premise, it has its purpose. We continue on to have the event on the 8/8, trying to see how I'm going to be able to change that around and create it in a different dynamic. For that one, might not be as long, so we'll see. I'm toying around with that, to see what's another way I could be able to present that to you all as well. But we'll continue to do that, because that's able to. Those numbers should have been higher too. I'm just keeping it real. All that content that everybody was giving you is that. I can hear conversations that everybody's talking to me. I kind of almost hear an April in my ear. And other people, it's just like, it's not that. Some of them just not ready, just really still stuck into the 3D, to the madness, just like infinite waters. We got to wake up, people. We can't continue to. Um, we've been trained that it's everybody else's fault but ours, and not to look at ourselves. We got to really put on our big spiritual panties and boxes and start saying, it's me. Just like I said with that, it's not something, again, when things do like they do, like it is now on this channel, is saying either this, like I've been taught, this channel is closed, or this is served its purpose, and it's time to move on to other things. We'll see, because I ebb and flow. And I don't apologize for that, because the way I feel at that moment is the way I feel. However, I do know, again, up until now here, there's a change that has to be done to this dynamic on this channel. What it is, I don't know. Send love and light to me that it will come to me as well. I do appreciate those of you all have been rocking with me, rather you've been here the first 5 years up until now. I thank you for giving me the space and the love that you all give me, and say, hey, do what you got to do. If you got to take a break, do that, because we know that you'll come back much better. But again, catch me on IG, catch me on still doing the playground experience. That's not it. Not saying that this is over with. I'm just leaving the door open. I say, I leave the door open. I leave the door open. So I'm gonna leave the door open. Right. I so for this, I'm not closing the door. It's just being open until I decide after July 15th what I want to do next on that. Also, going to the community, my last thing, remember, this is in the community. It's not last thing. That means I'm finalizing and sealing up. On the community, we were supposed to do Love's Great Design. That has been now pushed back until August the 8th. I really want to go into shifting gears when I'm doing more 101 and more of the coaching thing as well. I had some things that I want to, and I'm going back to the Bible. I'm not going to do it and say anything until it is finished, because it seems like some kind of way it gets derailed on that one. Not that one, but when I know it's, then I start really start coming on here plugging or doing whatever it is to get that together. But that's the area that I like. I like that one-on-one where I can see that instant feedback to let me know what I'm saying is doing. I can see those things. If you're interested in getting you to understand more deeper about yourself subconsciously, or your higher soul, or whatever's that's been in your body, please make sure that you go to AshantiWellness.com as well, and to get you a where is it at? AshantiWellness.center.com to get you a MAT session with this a metaphysical anatomy technique, seeing about if you're having things happening in your body, aches and pains, maybe there is a trauma linked to that, and you might need assistance in getting that healed. Please make sure you go to Ashanti Wellness for that. And if you're interested in getting a past life regression session, remember I do those too as well. Those are very therapeutic. My past life regression sessions are different. They come with energy healing and also energy healing, and if there's any body things to clear as well. So it's worth the price. So you're not just going in past life. We go through all the stuff and we clear out things within your body. So you have that as well. That's what makes mine unique and different. You can also catch me on my podcast, Divinely Speaking, Unplugged. Got good stuff on that. Spirit is just constantly giving me titles and things to talk about as well. More so right now, it's more so currently what's happening in the news and how's the spirit energy, my take on how you look at those things and how spirit is involved, how the spiritual aspect is involved as well. You can always go to DivineUnisouls11.co to get a reading with me to help you understand where you are in this point. I'm also going to put in the community tab. Those of you all that might be interested, especially with all these things aligning. Her name is Augustina. Augustina has given me an astrology chart and reading. She said she just charged $50 for, I think it's an hour, and you can't beat that with a bat. So make sure that you go to Augustina and get you a reading, get your astrology chart. They mentioned me in there as well, said Divine Sunshine told me to come, and make sure that you get one of those as well. Don't forget that the Playground Experience is now on its own channel as well. So go over there and check us out on Fridays as well, as we hold it down and kind of help you, give you a guide as far as what to deal with the energies and what some different topics the Spirit has led us. Make sure that you always are Again, clicking, liking, and sharing and subscribing to this channel. That's what helps with the algorithms. That's what helps to get the information out too as well. So it can be helping other twin flames or divine lovers on this journey as well. So they can be able to get the information that is giving you the keys to being able to understand yourself better. And so, in understanding yourself better, you can be able to help your partner and the world. All right, then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. Namago. Love you. Until next time, I'll be talking to you real soon.